Hey guys, it's that Dividend guy coming at you with another opinion stock video. So today I wanted to cover one of my favorite stocks, one of my top 5 foundational stocks in the portfolio, that being Realty Income. And guys, the reason that I own Realty Income is it's a great way to get exposure to the real estate sector without having the expertise to own an actual property. And so, just to give a little bit of background about myself, so I've been investing for about 4 years, and so I've amassed about $50,000 invested, and that's being from the time I was like 23, and I'm 27 now. So about $10,000 a year, which is awesome. I love that return. I love that I'm confident enough to do that. And I love that when everybody told me not to do something that really benefited me financially, I went ahead and did it anyway. The thing that holds me back from real estate investing, though, is I feel like I don't understand the economics of the market as well as I do the stock market. And the difference is the liquidity of the stock market is easier to go through than real estate. So like if I buy, I don't know, Coca-Cola stock, I can buy it and sell it whenever I need to, right? I'm liquid. Like it takes 5 days to hit my account. With real estate, if I had my $50,000 inside of a property, I have to find somebody to sell that property to. So I have to have a realtor. I have to deal with closing costs. I have to deal with any of the inspection stuff that they find. They might have to they might have a bidding war on the prices, and the prices might go down. Like the entire real estate market might go down. There's so many different levers that are present in that scenario that I wouldn't be 100% comfortable with. So I know that I don't know the real estate market as well as somebody that, like a real estate agent, or like my mom has bought houses, my dad has bought houses in the past, and so I don't necessarily know the ins and outs of something like that very well. So if I were to go and do that, I would want, honestly, one of my parents to be with me, but just so they understand it better, so they could kind of advise me on what to and what not to do. But guys, that I think is one of the most powerful tools as an investor and really in life, is to understand what you don't know. Because so many people, I've met a few people in their 20s that have bought houses and they're just screwed. Like they're either house poor, or they buy a bad house, or they have bad tenants. So I've watched it on YouTube as well. I've seen a lot of tenant stories, which I know it's not always you don't always get a bad tenant. You don't always have those annoying people that make your life miserable, owning property. But this is my way around that, that being Realty Income stock. And see, guys, the reason that there's a few reasons why I love Realty Income. But first off, the most important reason is how they've structured their business. So, guys, I live in an apartment complex right now, and right now our landlord's name is Rick. If we have an issue with our toilet, if we have a leak, if we have power outage, something, we call him, right? He's responsible for this apartment. So we live here, we do the upkeep, we take care of it, vacuum clean, whatever. But when it comes to rent, he owns this apartment, right? So he deals with the insurance and the rent. We have to deal with, of course, the rent, the utilities, and the internet. But the reason that I love Realty Income and why I prefer owning this real estate investment trust over an actual property is they are a triple net lease. And I'll explain what that means, because it's really cool that they can set their business up this way. So a triple net lease means that, let's say I live in an apartment complex, right? And let's say Rick, my landlord, owns it. So Rick gets paid rent. I cover the utilities, I cover the insurance, and I cover the maintenance. He has none of that headache. I as the person, as the occupant in the apartment, pay for all of that, right? All Rick does is sleep easy and collect a rent check. That's essentially what a triple net lease is. So there are a couple companies that do this. I know Realty Income and National Retail Properties are two of the big ones. I know that VREIT used to, and I believe Realty Income actually acquired them. VREIT was one of the other ones that I was looking at in this space, but I love Realty Income so much that I put all the money into that instead. On top of this, guys, the other thing that I really love, so their business structure is phenomenal. The other thing that I really do like is they pay monthly. So it's just like I own property. Like I get technically what I would call a rent check every single month from this company, and that is another huge reason why I love it. On top of that, their occupancy rate for the past 25 or 30 years, I think it was 30 years, has never gone below 90%. And on top of that, so another thing that's the compounding effect with this company is the dividend has grown now for I think 26 years, 25 plus years, but they grow it every single quarter. So every quarter, I get paid more than I did the quarter before. So it compounds. So it's honestly, this is my way of being in real estate without all the headaches. Guys, I don't have tenants calling me at 3 a.m. about a leaky faucet or a leak through the ceiling or a pipe burst or, calling me because they can't pay the rent. None of that is my issue. Realty Income deals with all the BS that would come in owning property. They put it on their tenants, and their tenants are locked in for I think it's 2 decades. I think it's the average. I think right now it's 15 to 25 years for their net lease. So they have really long contracts. So like the thing is, most of them have really long leases. And on top of that, guys, the other thing that is stellar about this portfolio that they own is the tenants that they actually have. They've got Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, Sam's Club, Dollar General, Family Dollar. So they've got all of these like retail stores, but a lot of them are low cost, as in they are ones that when the economy goes down, they don't get affected as much. And people, regardless of the economy, are gonna need groceries, right? That's what a lot of them are. Is they are these small supermarket stores or these small discount stores that, regardless, need people need their services, so they don't. That's why they're so stellar when it comes to economic downturns, because they've locked in really good tenants for decades, and those contracts have built-in rent bump ups every single year, so their rent contractually goes up every single year due to the lease and how it's set up. So they've really covered all the bases. They pay me monthly. The monthly payment goes up every 4 months. They have a long track record of dividends. They're really good when it comes to acquisitions, and they always have a decent amount of capital on hand to keep funding acquisitions. So I love how this company is set up, guys. I do like National Retail Properties as well. It's just, when you look at the tenant base, I don't think that they have as strong of a tenant pool as Realty Income. And I know this is one of the most popular stocks period. Like, it's a lot of people use it. A lot of people love it. This is one of the retiree stocks. It's one of the top stocks that people who are retired or retirees own because of that consistent cash flow. So I love it. But guys, let me know how you feel about Realty Income down in the comments below. Right now, I currently have about $8,800 invested, and so right now I'm going to look to cost down average a little bit into Realty Income. But I'm just excited because I love the monthly rent checks. Right now, I think I just got paid the dividend, so right now I believe it's like 36 something. But eventually, guys, I'm hoping that Realty Income will pay my rent. That would be really cool to have. No, I don't have any liabilities when it comes to properties, but I get rent from a company, which I think is awesome. But eventually, I do think a house would be cool to own. I just want to have a little bit more experience under my belt, study a little bit more, and be more comfortable with the real estate market. I'll keep you guys posted if I ever do buy a property. But right now, I'm so comfortable in the stock market, guys. I just don't see it happening. But let me know what you guys think about Realty Income down in the comment section below. If you own this Dividend Aristocrat, let me know down in the comments how many shares. And who's your favorite tenant? Currently, my favorite tenant is Walgreens. That's who I get my prescriptions from. So even if you don't own Walgreens, if you get your prescriptions there, they pay me rent technically. So that's another cool thing too, is if you own some of the tenants, they pay you every month, or they pay a portion of the dividend. So it's just an overall really well-run company. Love the strategic strategy for their acquisitions. The management knows exactly how to run this company. They are very particular on who they have and how long they have them in a contract. So for tenants, so it's just overall a great business, and I'm happy to own it. So guys, let me know down in the comments how how many shares you have, who's your favorite tenant, down in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button on my channel, That Dividend Guy, and I will see you guys in a new video tomorrow. Take care.